Dude, this is kind of fucked up to say, but dude, I'm not saying I want to do this, but I'm just saying, this is maybe what needed to be done to secure the fucking United States and shit like that into the future. Dude, you know what's interesting? Dude, I think the United States might have been able to get away with launching some sort of attack against the Chinese all the way up until the 90s. But dude, something tells me now that it's completely fucking hopeless. And I think you're looking at a complete Chinese takeover. So we're totally fucking screwed now, if you have to ask me. Totally screwed. And what the fuck is it? I think starting back in like the 70s and shit, you should have just like shit bombed them like constantly with like bombs, either dumb bombs, just like that fall from like the belly of a plane, or like, any other kind of bomb. You just should have bombed the shit out of the Chinese. You should have. Did they have aircraft carriers back in the 70s? Dude, you should have made like amphibious planes or something. Don't you have a Hawaii too? I don't know, you fucked something up, dude. Seriously. Dude, what if the Chinese make a fucking militarized Concorde jet with heat-seeking missiles on like the back of the jet? Like, imagine maybe heat-seeking missiles. I'm thinking on the back. Like heat-seeking missiles and maybe even like a machine gun on the back of the jet, right? And they just airdrop like Chinese with a fucking machine gun and a shovel, and they kill whoever the fuck it is, and then they set up the fucking base camp, and their main objective is to hijack the military in the United States, and what the fuck is it? Take over, hijack the tanks and planes and shit, and or, dude, you know what would be crazy? I just thought about, dude. What if the Chinese could somehow, dude, assuming that some of these vehicles are fueled up, what if the Chinese could hijack a fucking plane? Dude, do they keep ammunition on these planes, like ammunition and missiles ready to go? Because, dude, what if they could hijack a fucking plane, like remote control it, and just start bombing people remote controlled, with our own? They don't even need a guy to hijack the plane. That would be fucking crazy. I can't even think about that. But dude, you should have done something. And now this shit is, you can't win at this point. It's totally fucking hopeless as far as I'm concerned. I think if the Chinese, what is the strategy that you would use? Dude, I'm thinking, I'm not a military expert, but if I was gonna fight a battle, right? This is how I do it if I was the Chinese. I'd invade Canada first and try to completely... Does that make sense? Maybe Canada doesn't matter. Maybe you should just go for the gusto. Because, dude, like, if you think about it, if you went for Canada, right, and then the United States goes into Canada, and that conflict would last a long, long time, right? if you could just go for the gusto, if you take over the United States, the whole thing has fallen. It's like a quick death. Do you know what I mean? Instead of having a conflict and potentially a conflict that could work in the favor of the United States, if the Chinese just went for the jugular in the United States, then it would be a total fucking just total decapitation of the United States, and you wouldn't have to worry about Canada, because Canada, they're like sitting ducks and they're complete bitches. They have no fucking chance at victory against a Chinese United States military hijacked. So unless you're talking about the United States committing seppuku or some shit, you talk about it's basically just a complete Chinese takeover, and this shit the Chinese would be victorious with champagne and whatever the fuck it is. Dude, what would you do? Dude, I'm thinking I would go for both coasts if you have to ask me. Dude, if you attack both, let's say you attacked I would do it where it's like it's like my technique is like a tightening noose. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't go towards the middle, because then the people can like suck into the middle. They can surround you. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be surrounded by any means. Like, don't ever be surrounded. Dude, I think if you're not surrounded, then you could totally win, if you have to ask me, because if you need to fall back and battle, like, and regroup or whatever, you can fucking do that. But if they surround you, you're screwed. Dude, I'm saying, I'm not like a football coach or like a fucking military expert or anything. But dude, I'm thinking that you need a situation where you know that you wouldn't ever be surrounded. Obviously, the Chinese are gonna use like drones and shit to make sure that the path is clear, and that there's going to be no kind of sneak attack of some kind. But dude, you basically all you would have to do, to my understanding, dude, if you could take down every military base in the United States, dude, the shit would fall. That's it. It's fucking over. And then the only way that the fucking United States could fight against that, which you can't because you have all the fucking military weaponry, is you'd have the small arms fucking... So let's assume for a second that the Chinese can hijack all military bases, and that somehow the United States can't launch some sort of attack against those bases once they've been controlled. Dude, you're talking about like basically all the heavy weaponry. Like, unless you got dudes in the suburbs or whatever, they got like RPGs or whatever the fuck it is. Dude, you can't do shit. And what the fuck is it? Dude, you're talking about like armored vehicles and shit. You could just go through the like, you could go to like Walmart or some shit and just mow down like fucking 200 people at a time. Do you know what I mean? Or just fucking put bullets through the fucking Walmart. The fuck? Dude, you could just the bullets, some of these bullets would probably pass right through fucking Walmart from one wall to the next. Total just like Swiss cheese that shit, dude, seriously. And the fuck is it? Then they just take over whatever kind of food production. Dude, once they have control over the food production, then you're fucking totally screwed. You can't, and not only that, you can't feed anybody, so what the fuck are you gonna do? You can't do shit.